Three, two. Hey, what's good, everybody? You know who it is. You know what it is. It's another live session with the Hype Magazine. I'm your editor in chief, Dr. Jerry Doby. And today, we're sitting down with writer, filmmaker Rick Cutts. He's a storyteller whose journey from the streets of Chicago to international acclaim is rooted in perseverance, grit, and vision. When you get the story, you're going to understand. Rick turned a dream into a best-selling thriller and then into a film. He navigated setbacks, rejections, and unbelievable challenges along the way. His film, Strat.A.Gem, dives deep into moral complexity. That's this one. This one, I got to tell you, you don't know. Anyway, it dives into moral complexity, community realities, and the blurred lines between good and evil. So today we're exploring the story behind the story, the lessons learned, and what drives Mr. Rick Cutts to keep pushing forward. Welcome. Appreciate having you.
Oh, absolutely, man. I appreciate it, man. And shoot, thank you. So that's the first thing. Thank you, sir.
Oh, no, no. Thank you for being a filmmaker and being one of those faces that we can put forward to the next generations who think that they have to be in front of the camera when you really don't. You could make more impact writing the narrative, creating the story, and getting it out there. Um, so we're going to get to that amazing how it all started because that story is going, it's timeless when we're talking about leap of faith. But everybody has their naysayers from the beginning of
Mhm.
life till the day, I knew he wasn't going to be, what I mean? Or I knew he was going to be great. He was a naysayer until then. So early
Mhm.
life and adversity for you included
Mhm.
having a teacher who once doubted your future and that growing up in Chicago came with real dangers, which is a reality.
Yes.
And statistically, you know, it, on paper, it could have happened the way that they thought it could happen, but you were different, and they didn't have the foresight, or they weren't connected enough to their student to understand that you're different. How did those experiences shape the way you navigate life and creativity today?
Well, I tell you, man, it start off so, I'm gonna say my probably my family is the biggest thing. My mom and dad, obviously. But what really changed something, and it was a big pivotal moment. I remember sitting with a teacher. So we were sitting at a table, maybe not even 3 feet apart. Okay, three, maybe 4 feet at the most apart. So it's me, my mom, and the teacher. And the teacher was sitting there and in the conversation, because I'm just a kid. I'm maybe like 15 years old. And I remember he said, well, the statistics for young black men out here, it ain't too high. And he looked right at me and then looked at my mom and he goes, I mean, he'll probably end up either dead or in jail and he
Mm,
won't make it out of his teens. And I remember hearing that. And you don't know how stuff really affect you, but to hear a teacher sit and say, I wouldn't make it out of my teens or I would end up dead or in jail, it literally lit a fire inside of me where I said, all I wanted to do was make it out of my teens just to prove I could do it.
mhm, mhm,
Because he put out a real statistic talking about what would happen. And my mom sat there and she said, well, not my son. And I applaud my mom for saying, not my son. And when we was on the way home, I remember she sat down with me. She go, you know what, son? Because there was a whole lot of mistaken identity in Chicago where everyone thought they just pull up and if you was wearing a color or a certain hoodie or a jacket or anything, they shoot first and questions later.
mhm.
So it was a fear that I had of being mistaken for anyone and something wrong happening just because of being a black man and walking the streets.
Hold on, hold on.
So what
Let me
happened
pause you.
was,
Let me pause you.
Yes, sir.
This is that segue into his sartorial resplendence. Let's go. Let's go.
Oh, thank you very much.
Yes.
So what happened is my mom, she, we had one of my friends end up on the news. They found him in a garbage can dead.
Mm,
And one of the other young men, it was all over the news. They executed him and shot him. And then my dad was standing there. One of the guys, they shot his head off, and his body was still moving. So it's things that you see in life. Is not a movie at all.
mm,
And I was terrified. And I remember my sister saying, "Mom, I think they gonna get my brother. They gonna get Rick." And once again, my mom, not my son, not my son. She sat me down. She said, "Son, I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna tell you a way that you'll never be mistaken for nothing, where no one ever come after you for nothing at all." And she said, "I'm gonna tell you this, and this is what I need you to do." She said, "If you wore a shirt and tie, no one will mistake you for anything." And I
mm,
looked at her number one like she was crazy. I said, "What? Wear a shirt and tie? I'm not.
mm,
I'm not no nerd. I'm not wearing a shirt and tie."
mm,
And she said, "Son, it'll save your life. If you do this, you wear this shirt and tie, it'll save your life." So it wasn't by choice, it was by force. All I had was shirts and ties. So
mm,
she went and got me shirts and ties and said, "This is what you're going to wear." So, of course, I went to school, and obviously everybody laughed at me, cracked jokes. All the dudes was like, "Dude, look at this guy. He got on a shirt and tie." But the ladies really liked the way I dressed. And they said, "Ooh, this man is dressing good."
amen.
So I realized that maybe the shirt and tie thing wasn't that bad after all. And then what also happened was all these thugs and gang bangs, everybody that was so tough was coming to me one by one asking how to dress, how to tie a tie. Can I help them with coordinating? So it turned into a thing where I was always known as the guy that was dressed good with the suits and ties on, and it just progressed as time went on. So here it is. That was 15. So here it is. What's that's over 35, 36 years later.
Mm.
I'm still in suits and ties. Now they're all custom suits and ties, but the majority of my life, I'm 47 now. I've always worn suits and ties, and it basically has saved my life. So that's why I say with the way I present myself.
Yeah. You know, it everybody wears jerseys and everybody's running around dribbling the basketball. You could fake, being an athlete nowadays, and people don't have any mercy on athletes anymore. They don't care. You know what I mean? First of all, in football cities, you could be running down the wrong side of town on the wrong high school side of town and get served up just because you're too good of a running back or too good of an
Hmm.
athlete for the other team. We could, pick out Lawrence, Kansas, which is a huge football
Yep.
city. Kids getting
Yep.
hurt,
Yep.
behind that. The K State and KU going at it.
Come on.
Crazy. You know what I
Yep.
mean? It really happens. And I'm gonna fly wherever you are, because the way you have this tie, the knot, and the floral arrangement of the pocket square, yeah, I'm coming to get some lessons.
Well, I will be. I'm gonna start up a thing where I'm teaching. I try to like teach guys with just dressing for success and stuff. Try to speak, give back to the community as much as possible. I donate suits. Every year I donate about maybe 30, 40 suits, and then I go buy me another thing of suits and refresh them annually. And I donate them, speak.
Mm.
So everything I do is to try to give back to be a blessing to the future generations coming up, so that we can take all the excuses away.
You exhibited the leadership, and I know it was uncomfortable. You know what I mean? I know it was uncomfortable wearing the suits and ties at school. I played clarinet in elementary.
Man.
I'm 62, so you can imagine the bullying that came along with playing a clarinet. Not only am I light bright, I'm a military kid, and I play the clarinet. And according to them, you talk white. I'm like, bro, I'm just using King's English.
Hmm.
I I,
Hmm.
I don't have to code switch because this is my code all the time. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Although I got some stories too. I got some stories too. I got some stories. But I love the tie. I'm going. So that's why I was clowning earlier. I'm like sartorially resplendent. I'm not going to explain it to you here on this video. You're going to go look it up. If you watch the clips, it will be in the caption, but I might turn the captions off just to challenge our English class out there. You just missed my teacher, sister. She came and gave lessons, but and anyway, turning setbacks. Wait, I got well, first and foremost, stratagem. I ain't gonna lie. 62, I
Mhm.
had to go look the damn word up to ensure that I had the right definition of stratagem. Strategy, stratagem, it's an in depth plot or plan
Mhm.
to make something happen. Think Miyamoto Musashi and the Book of Five Rings. Think of, the 48 Laws of Power. Let's think
Mhm.
about, y'all get the point.
Yes, sir.
Y'all get the point. You know what I mean? Stratagem,
Mhm.
in depth thought process, creating a plan with an overarching set of benchmarks to achieve a major objective.
Mhm.
Strategy.
Mhm.
You said the idea for your book, which turned into a major film, Stratagem, came to you in a dream. So when you look back now, what about that dream felt powerful enough for you to commit years of writing, rewriting, and adapting it into a film?
Man, well, I'm gonna tell you. So it started. Like you don't know you could do something until you do it.
Right.
That's the first thing I say. So I happened to listen to. I know I spoke with you before, and I was talking about. I listened to a lot of other writers, directors, and I'm a and then I'm a puzzle person. I love puzzles and figuring things out. So I was sitting and really a lot of frustration with being able to guess movies. You can always guess what's happening by the middle end, and it was real frustrating
Right.
just being able to guess things. So I was sitting down listening to it was James Cameron. He was talking,
Mm-hmm.
and he was talking about, yeah, I had this dream about, I was gonna do something great, but right before I did it, then someone came back in time and took me out before I could do it. And that obviously became Terminator,
Mm-hmm.
and that's a multi-billion dollar franchise.
Right.
And I listened to that, and it struck me, and I go, you know what, Rick, you've dreamed things or thought of things multiple times, and then I always complain about being able to predict endings of movies. My mom is big on, oh, I already know what's going to happen. So it hit me where I said, well, why don't you do something about it? But I didn't know what to write or what to do, and I said, I'll tell you what, the next time I have an idea, a dream, something, I'm gonna just keep a notepad, I'm gonna keep stuff next to me so I can just write it. So what happened was some time went by. It wasn't like the very next day. Some time went by. And next thing you know, I had like you know how you can sort of like sleep, not sleep. I
Mm-hmm.
was sort of like, falling asleep, and it was in that midst of the sleep, not sleep. I had sort of like this little dream of where it seemed like a person was being chased. But somewhere in the middle of it, the person stopped being chased, and you realize they were the one doing the chasing.
Mm.
And I'm like, man, so I woke up and I said, oh, dude, this is cool. And I just started writing. It was maybe midnight, 1 in the morning. I just started writing. I said, oh, this is good. So I just kept writing, kept writing. And I never stopped writing as long as the thoughts was coming to me. And I didn't have any names. All I had was him, them, they, she, him. And I just kept writing like that.
Mm-hmm.
By the time I got finished, it was the following day about 9 p.m. or so. I wrote a full, I never stopped.
Mm.
And when I stopped writing and looked, I said, I looked, I'm like, man, it's dark outside. I can't believe, I couldn't believe I was in a zone writing that long, and I couldn't believe it. So I looked over and I said, dude, this looks pretty good. But I didn't have any names of anyone. And I didn't want the names to be regular names like Joe, Sam, Bob. I want them to be names where every nationality could look at it and they could basically say, I could see myself in that, because I want to be inclusive. So the first thing I did was I said, I'm gonna call my mom and tell her about this movie that
Mm-hmm.
I heard about to see what she think. Because I know my mom, if she gets a movie and think it ain't good, she gonna tell you instantly. So I
Mm-hmm.
didn't tell her I wrote it. I just called her and I said, Mom, you ever heard about this movie? She said, what? I said, it's called Strat.A.Gem. She said,
Mm-hmm.
oh, what's that about? So I said, it's this dude, his name, I came up with names by then. I said, this dude named Relic. and he was like, he saw this murder, and when he saw the murder, the dude doing the killing saw him, and it was him and his girlfriend that was there. They just took off running. She like, what? I say, yes. They get up to a buddy's house. When they get to the buddy's house, man, they telling the buddy about what's going on. Killer shows up at the house, starts shooting up the place. She's like, oh no. I say, yes. I go, and let me tell you what else happened. Then they leave that place on foot because the guy's just shooting it up.
Mm-hmm.
They're on foot, running, running, running. They get to a big, beautiful mansion. Beautiful mansion. Now they on foot, exhausted. They walk up, knock on the door. Lady come to the door named Kyra. What's up? She walked to the door. Come on in. They walk inside the house. As they get in, you ain't gonna believe this. The killer is sitting at the kitchen table already one step ahead. She like, what? I say, yes. One step. And she said, oh no, I gotta see this. I said, Mom, hold on, because it gets crazier.
Mm-hmm.
The killer don't see them, but they see him. So they sneak out of the house. They realize it's a mafia house they walked into. They basically walked into the hornet's nest.
Mm.
She said, oh no. Yeah, but they snuck out the house. They saw that killer's car with all the bombs in it. Man, they took them bombs out the car. You know what he did? He threw it in the house, blew it up, and drove off. She said, what? Yes. He threw it in the house, blew it up. But mom, it stopped. The movie stopped right there. She said, what? It stopped? I said, yeah. It rewinded. And it actually shows that dude name is Relic Now. Relic in reverse spells Killer. Now in reverse spells plan. Killer plan. She's lost her mind. No, no. Yes, he's the killer. The dude driving them around at the beginning named Inun in reverse, that spells no one.
Mm.
What happened was that mafia killed his family when he was a kid. He found a way to infiltrate that gang from the inside out, killed them all from the inside. He thought it'd be a suicide mission. He figured they'd catch him. But he met this young lady named Nozer.
Mm-hmm.
Mom, Nozer in reverse spells Reason. Reason. She became his reason to live. Oh, I gotta see that. Don't tell me no more. I said, now you gotta see it happen. Man, where's it at? I said, hold on, no. It's not out yet. Well, how did you see it? I said, well, I wrote it. What? Couldn't believe it. So that's how that started. And that's when I knew, okay, I got something.
Mm.
So I'm not gonna tell the rest of what happened,
That's right.
but that's basically the premise of that movie. Now you got to see how we did all of it. But it's so I wrote that and I had no idea how to put it out.
Mm.
So I looked online, of course, like what we all do. I looked online to see how do I get it published? What do I put it at? And I run across the company, Zebras, and I submitted it to them just to see what would happen. I submitted it and I get a call back and they wanted to know, did you really write it? And I say, yeah. They said, well, we need to check it out before we can publish this to make sure you didn't steal this story because this is a good story. I
Mm.
say, oh, okay. So I'm sitting there waiting. A few days go by, they call, say, well, no, it don't look like you stole it. It look like it's original. So we got it copywritten, got it published, put it out.
Mm.
Put it out, didn't think nothing of it. I'm like, okay, we'll see what happened. It goes out. I start getting phone calls. I got a phone call from some guy. Not sure who the guy was, just a guy. Hey, what's up? He's got this accent. Hello, what's up? Just a little bit. And I'm like, oh, British dude. So I'm thinking, number one, because he's like, yeah, we want to put you on our radio show just a little bit. And I'm like, it sounds like a scam, number one.
Mm.
So I'm like, all right, man, if you want to do an interview with me, I'll do an interview. What I didn't realize is that it was one of the largest talk shows or something. It was like in the UK and it had thousands and thousands of people was on this show. I
Mm.
had no idea. So obviously there's a time difference. So I get on the show and it's early for us, but it's like their midday. So it's like top of the hour for them. So I do the show goes well. All of a sudden the book it sells out a few times. I didn't know this. I didn't know it sold out. I had no idea. Didn't know the book sold out, and it was just rankings was going up, and all of a sudden, then I get a thing, and it shows number one new thriller on Amazon, 4 stars, everything. I'm like, and now I got this little plaque on. I'm like, what's this? Oh, my book's number one. I said,
Number one
okay.
bestseller.
So I'm going. I didn't know that.
Mm.
So then I started having people say, you know what, this maybe you can make this into a movie. And I'm going, okay, but I don't know how to do it. No idea how to. So I do like, because everybody in the world, I have, of course, naysayers. They're going, man, there's a million books out. How your book come be made into a movie? I say, I don't know, but I'm gonna try.
Mm.
So I started submitting it to places to see if I get pitch sessions with real directors or producers. And next thing you know, all of a sudden I get a guy and he goes, "Hey, I can get you in contact to do a pitch session with a real producer." This guy that I end up talking to, he did stuff on like Independence Day, I Am Legend, Spider-Man 3, the list goes on and on. It's over $2 billion of credits of stuff that he's worked on over the years. So I'm like, okay, certified guy. So I do the pitch session, and for the pitch session, man, I put on all black. I was dressed like John Wick. So for
Mm.
him, I was John Rick. I just went
Okay.
in and I said, "Let me show you something." So I put on all black, told him the story. I only got 2 minutes. You get 90 seconds to do it. So I gave him that pitch, 90 seconds done. Loved it. He put out pitch of the day, the best pitch I've ever heard. Boom, boom, boom. I got top ratings for everything. I'm like, oh, that's it. I'm going to Hollywood.
Mm.
Then I didn't get another phone call again for some months.
Mm.
You know how the business go.
Yeah, yeah.
Nobody calls. So I'm sitting there like, man. So I can't just let it sit. So I reach out to the gentleman. I say, look, man, I need you to get me this guy's phone number so I can personally talk to him. I need it. And he goes, Rick, I can't just give you someone's personal phone number. There's rules. I can lose my job. I'm like, look, man, you should give me his phone number. I'm gonna make it happen. So he trusts me enough and he said, I'm gonna give you his phone number, but please don't make me lose my job.
Mm.
I said, just let me get it. He gave me the phone number. And I'm looking at the phone number like, how am I going to reach out to the guy? And he actually answered. Because if you call somebody and they don't know your phone number, they're not going to answer. And then if I send a guy a text, who's this text? He ain't going to answer. It hit me, Rick, you're a video dude. Make a video. So I did about a maybe 25-second video
Mm-hmm.
saying, hey, I'm the dude, Rick. I had the pitch of the day. And then I made up something. Yeah, I'll be in California anyway. Towards the end of the month, maybe I can come see you. Just let me know. Click send.
Mm-hmm.
Now, full disclosure, I was not planning on going to California for nothing. I just said
Mm-hmm.
that. Week or two go by, no call, no nothing. So I'm like, oh well, at least I gave it my shot. I'm sitting having dinner with my wife. All of a sudden, my phone rings. I look down, it's that guy. I say, oh, now as soon as I look, I get excited. I pick up the phone. This really happened. I drop my phone in my food. And I'm like, oh no. Oh, my wife looking like, what's wrong with you? I'm picking I'm picking up the phone out the food. It's dripping with food, but I don't want to ignore it. So I just put it on speakerphone.
Mm-hmm.
On speaker. Hey, what's up? This Rick Cuts. Man, the dude light me up. What you doing calling my phone? You ain't supposed to reach out to me. This lit me up. I'm sitting there looking at my wife like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
maybe I shouldn't have did that. And I'm thinking I lost this guy his job probably. And at the end of him going off on me, he said, but that was different and I like it. And then he said, and since you will be out here in California, maybe we'll meet up with something like that. I'm like, oh. So I grabbed my laptop, folded up, and I just book a ticket right there.
Mm-hmm.
And I just book a ticket to California. No meeting said, I just book a ticket and I say I'm flying out. So I book a ticket. My wife looked at me. She go, what are you doing? I said, I'm booking a ticket. She said, but he didn't set a meeting. I said, that sounds like it's good enough to be a meeting to me.
Yeah.
So I get me another suit. I get me a nice custom suit. Put that thing on. I fly out there to California with no meeting. And I just sit out there. Now I'm in Florida. So I flew from Florida to California. It's a 3 hour difference. I sat there. I left at almost, I don't know, I got up maybe 2 in the morning, flew out 3, 4. I say sitting there from 6, 7 in the morning until he eventually called me. It was hours. He didn't call, no text. My wife, every hour and a half, what's going on? I'm just sitting in the airport, honey. He call you? No, he didn't. Well, what you gonna do if he don't call? I said, I'm gonna come back home and I'm gonna keep flying out until he meets me.
Mm-hmm.
And she said, that's just crazy. I said, this, I'm doing it. I'm gonna meet him. And I stayed in that airport. Hours go by, and eventually, I started getting discouraged. And I say, maybe I'll just book a flight. So I book a flight so I could fly back home.
Mm-hmm.
And I say, that's all right. My phone rings where it buzzes. He texts me, hey, what's up, Rick? Meet me at this location. Send me a location. I'm like, oh, I text my wife, honey, I got a meeting with him. Man, I give me an Uber, take it straight to that meeting. Man, all of a sudden I got all of the energy in the world.
No
I'm
doubt.
like,
No
hey,
doubt.
how's it going? As soon as he sit down with me, he rips me apart. He say, yeah, nobody ever gonna take you serious. I don't like the screenplay you wrote. This is horrible, terrible. And I just want to tell you that. Crushed. And I just looked at him like, oh. He said, no, 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 don't get me wrong. He said, your writing is fine. It's the format that you did. It's not a Hollywood format. So it's just like if you have a phenomenal meal, but you present it on a garbage can top.
Mm,
The meal is fine, but the presentation is the problem.
mm,
So he told me, yes, what you wrote is fine, but no one in Hollywood will take you serious because what you put it on is a garbage can top.
mm.
I said, oh, he said, but you can write, so I'm gonna make you a screenwriter. I said, oh. So I got the software and everything so I could be a screenwriter. And he sat with me for a few hours to go over everything from top to bottom on Hollywood and how to get it done.
Okay.
I was like, man, so now everything's good to go. And then he goes, well, what are you out here for anyway? I said, oh, sir, I just came out here just to meet you. He said, well, we didn't have a meeting. And I said, well, I was just sitting out here and I figured, he said, well, what would have happened if I wouldn't have met you? I said, sir, I would have kept coming out here till you met me. And he said, that's why you're going to be successful.
Mm, mm,
And then I say, well, how did you get started in the business? He said, I did the same thing you did.
ah, ah,
He
ah.
ended up, what he did was he stole a producer's phone number that he saw on a listing
Mhm,
and he called him up and he just said a name. He said, yeah, John told me to call you for an internship. No idea who John was. He just made it up.
mhm.
Yeah, John told me to call you for an internship and said that I can come sit down with you. And the guy was like, oh, yeah, John. Okay, yeah, come on down. And that's how he got started.
Wow,
So, sometimes you got to take a risk and do some things to make it happen. And
man.
but that was the start, man. That was the
That
start for me.
that is intestinal fortitude to the nth power, man. That's how you turn setbacks into momentum. You already faced harsh critiques. He just ripped you twice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then the way you're telling it, he did it with like this sense of humor-ish kind of thing in that your writing's fine, but the format.
Right.
He could
Right.
have just said, the format's not, but he says nobody's gonna take you seriously and just da 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 da, and you're going,
Yeah, he ripped me
because
out. He ripped me apart, man. And I
he
sat there for a while. It was callous. And
callous,
once he got done, because I basically told him, hey, that's okay, that's fine. And he was just looking at my energy. I never phased. I was like, okay, no problem. Hey, that's everybody's opinion. I appreciate your thought. And he was just looking at me. He I know he had to be thinking, no matter what you tell this guy, he's gonna go and keep doing it. And he saw that in me that I don't care. He could have told me, Rick, I don't like you. I don't like your mom, your dad, your cousin, or your brother. Get out of here. And I would be like, all right, man, that sounds good to me. My energy stayed the same no matter what he said. And when he saw that no matter what he told me, I wasn't backing down, it impressed him. And he said, you know what? He said, you're a little bit different. So then he started helping me and telling me. Now, the problem is that after all of that, the momentum was phenomenal. And that's when the writer's strike happened and everything shut down in Hollywood.
yeah, yeah, that right
That's
there.
when it all stopped. And I was like, oh, Jesus, now what? So
Mhm.
now I got this. Now I know how to be a screenwriter. Now I've written the screenplay the correct Hollywood way. Now I'm a Hollywood screenwriter. I have the same form, use same thing everyone else used. Steven Spielberg, same stuff he used, I use. Same stuff. And I'm sitting there now with this professional screenplay, nowhere to take it. And I'm like, Jesus, now what's going to happen? Seemed like every time a door opened, something closed it and locks it. So I sat there and I saw this thing for a competition where you can submit for it. And if you win, they'll make your movie. I said, ooh, okay. So I submit to the contest. I submit to the contest. Thousands of people submit, obviously, and everyone's telling me, "Man, nobody gonna pick you out of thousands of people. Who are you? You just Rick. You ain't nobody." Like I've been here my whole life.
Mm.
You come from where? You ain't nothing. You blah blah. I said, "I'm gonna just submit it." Well, I ended up sliding up on those rankings into the top 30. Made it to the next level. Then all of a sudden, they was gonna take the top 10. I was number 11. Needed one more vote to click over to 10, but I saw a loophole in the voting
Mm.
where you could cheat and you could win. Now, this is for a lot of money. The majority of people will probably say, I need one more vote. All I got to do is cheat to win. I'm going to cheat. I sat there looking at my computer, going over in my head what would happen if I got that one more vote and cheated. I knew I needed it. And I looked at my wife and I said, honey, if I do this, and if I ever have an interview with someone, they say, how did you make it? I'm going to have to be able to look them in the eye and go, I made it honestly and know I'm lying.
Mm.
I said, some in me wouldn't allow me to try to cheat. So I Went to the laptop and I emailed the owner of the competition. And I said, hey man, I noticed there's a loophole in the contest where you can cheat to win. I said, I don't want to cheat to win. And I said, hey, if I win organically, I feel good. If people like it, they like it. If they don't, they don't. But I don't want to cheat to try to win, no matter how much money it is or what's promised in the end. I said, I appreciate the contest. If I win, great. If not, no big deal. But thank you all for the opportunity. But I just want to point out to you that there's a loophole in it.
Here's your
Well, he
loophole.
emails me back.
Mhm.
He emails me back and he goes, so you're willing to lose a contest for your integrity and you don't want to cheat. I said, absolutely. And he said, so you're not in this for the money. I said, no. He said, well, we noticed some people cheating and we caught them.
Mhm.
And I was like, thank you, God. Because I could have been one of the people caught if I would have cheated.
Mhm.
And then it would have been it for me.
Mhm.
So, I didn't win the contest, but he remembered that I did that. A few months went by. My phone rings. I always answer my phone. No matter who calls, I pick it up.
Mhm.
I look down, it's a phone number I do not know. I pick it up. Hey, how's it going? It's Rick. Hey, he tells me his name. It's the guy that owns the thing for the contest.
Mhm.
He called me personally. He said, hey, I just want to talk to you because have you ever thought about directing?
Mhm.
I said, no, sir, I haven't. He said, well, you got some talent, you got some ability, you didn't want to cheat, and you're not in this for money. He said, you're a creator that want to put your stuff out. I said, yes, sir. He said, you should direct. And so I found out how to become a director, how to do it all the legal way.
Mhm.
So I went out, and the first thing I did said, okay, let me get an LLC. I made it all legal because, of course, being who I am, a man of color, I don't want to go out and do something illegally
Mhm.
or do anything where I can get shut down. So I said I wanted everything legally set up. So I made an LLC. I went and I paid the money for the insurance for the movie.
Mhm.
You have to have between $1 to $2 million insurance for the movie, depending on the budget. You got to pay for that. I paid for that. That's the only way that you will be able to get the permit to film. And so I got the permit to film then, but before they give you, they got to go get the locations to film.
Mhm.
So I needed airplane, I needed a mansion, like 3 mansions. I'm gonna go ahead and let you know right now. I don't have an airplane and I do not have 3 mansions, but that's what I needed for the movie.
Right.
So
Right.
that's when I said, okay, Lord, help me out. I gotta go out and get this stuff. So once again, what you think I do? I put that suit on, I grabbed my briefcase, I grabbed those credentials from me having legal things now and grabbed me a nice business cards. Now I had no actors whatsoever, but
Yeah.
I said, "Doggone it, I'm gonna make a movie. I'm making this movie, no matter what." Everybody I knew was like, "What are you doing? You can't go make a movie." That's like, dude, what's wrong with you? That ain't. Who are you? Nobody knows you. I said, "Well, they gonna know me."
Mhm.
So I went right to the airfield. Went to Legends Airfield, right out where I live.
Mhm.
Walked in. Hey, how's it going? I'm Rick Cutts. I'm a director. I'm a producer. And they, oh, okay. I said, I'm a writer. I have a book. It was the #1 book. We're making a movie out of it. We want to film, and I need one of your airplanes because we can blow it up for the movie. They looked at me and said, okay, that sounds good.
Mm.
The guy looked me up, Googled, looked and said, hey, the dude really is a writer. Okay, sounds good. When you need it. Now, in my mind, I'm like, oh man, that worked. But yeah, I needed we're gonna start filming in February.
No shot
He
ready yet.
goes, he goes, well, who gonna be in the movie? Now remember, I had no actors. I say, look, man, I can't disclose to you the people that's in the movie. He said, oh, I get it, I get it. Got to keep it on a hush hush. I said, yes, sir. That's because I had no actors. So I leave out of the place. Man, I'm on cloud nine. I'm like, oh Lord, I got an airplane. Ooh. He said, which one do you want? Pick one. Of course, I got to pick the good one. I'll take that one. Thank you very much. Boom, I left. Now I'm on cloud. I'd call my wife. Oh, honey, I got an airplane for the movie. Ooh, now all I need is 3 mansions and a business. I drive. I go to another business. I'm scouting, looking at places. I say, oh, this would be perfect. I go up, walk in. It's a salon. Excuse me, sir. I would like to use your business. Now I got confidence. We already got the airfield. We like to use your business as well. Doing stuff for the community. Going to film it right out here in Florida. Want to use your business for a spot in the movie. He goes, wow, that sounds awesome. What's the movie about? Tell the movie he loves it. He said, I don't know if you have all the actors in place yet, but one of my clients is an actress.
Mhm.
Do you think maybe she can audition for you? Now, almost inside of me, My inside almost jumped out and fell on the floor
Mm,
because I had no actors.
mm.
But I had to play cool. I
Right, right.
said, "Sir, I'll see if I can squeeze her in. I'll tell you what, you give me her information. I'll call her up. We'll see what we can do. Maybe I'll get a demo reel. We can see if she can audition for a part. Remember, I have no actors
Nice.
whatsoever.
Very
Man, I walk out of that place. My heart is beating out of my chest. The lady, her name's Tammy Hansen. She's in the movie. She calls me up. She give me a demo reel. Number one, she's phenomenal. This woman's, I'm like, whoa, she been in 100 some movies already. I'm through the roof. I'm like, oh my God. So I got Tammy Hansen. So I go to another place. We need to use your facility. However, I can't tell you who all in the movie, but I can say one person. I do have Tammy Hansen in the movie, just to let you know. But I can't tell you the other people in the movie. You know why? Because I have nobody else for the movie. True story. I'm going to places, booking things. I'm getting people to commit for places to film. I have no actors. I have nothing whatsoever, but I'm saying I'm gonna film this movie.
Mm,
I meet another guy. He said, "Hey Rick, I know this guy. He's out in the Florida area. He's an actor. His name's Lane Harper. Lane Harper was just in that. He's credited in the F1 movie with Brad Pitt. It's a
mm,
$300 million movie.
mm,
He also just played Diddy in a Hulu docuseries. I'm like, oh, I call him up. Completely not supposed to call him. Supposed to call the agent. No, I called him. He go, who is this? Look, you got 2 minutes to explain me this movie. I told this man the movie in a minute flat. When I was done, he said, I'm on. Let's do it. I wrote a role for him. He's in the movie. Now I
wait,
got a couple of
you
people in
didn't
the
even
movie.
have a role written for
I
Lane.
made a role for the
Made a
man.
role.
Made a role. Then all of a sudden, everything just started coming together.
Mm,
Now
mm,
I'm in the gym. I see a guy in the gym. Oh, he looked like somebody. Let me walk over. Come to find out. Oh, I used to model. I do this. He's in the movie. I see another guy with. Oh, let me talk. I'm just picking people left and right. Next thing you know, I'm doing an audition. We're doing a casting call, and it's just coming together. The more you believe, see, the Bible is say the earth will yield to you. The earth can't yield if you don't make a step. Once I took a step, things started yielding. So the more steps I took, the more things yielded. Every business I needed, I got. I got owners for things. We got food catering. We got every business we needed. The mansions, I got plenty, all the mansions we needed. Next, we started filming. People looking, they're like, man, this movie ain't gonna do nothing. I stopped everyone in the middle when we had an audition. I said, look, predicted what's gonna happen. You got to speak things that are not as though they were. I spoke everything to this. I said, look, I did this in 2024 when I spoke this. I said, in this upcoming year, we're going to be in magazines. We're going to be on talk shows. We're going to be on TV shows. This movie will be a number one movie.
mm,
And by September of next year, we'll be on people TVs and you'll be able to be seen around the world. We're going to win awards. They looked at me like I was crazy. One guy got up and walked out.
mm,
And I sat there and I said, this is going to happen. 2 weeks after I said that, ABC Morning Blend talk show called me.
mm.
And I was on the ABC Morning Blend talk show.
Nice.
20 minutes after that, Bay News Channel 9 called me up, and I was on Bay News Channel 9. They came out to watch us while we filmed.
Mm,
3 months after that, we was in film festivals and we won Best Feature Film in the LA Suspense Film Festival as well as the Orlando Urban Film Festival. Every film festival we've been a part of, we won Best Feature Film in. In September, guess what happened? The movie was streaming and available over 50 million households September of 2025.
mm, mm, mm.
Everything I said that was going to happen in 2024 happened. Now, were there bumps along the road? Absolutely, because every day that I went to film, someone didn't show up. The first part of filming, we had a car chase scene. The guy doing the car chase never showed up.
Mm,
So I had to do a car chase with no car being chased. So I filmed that other part a month later and put a car in to chase it. Just by the grace of God, there happened to be a car driving by that I used in a clip because I knew someone that had a car similar to that I used a month later to make it look like it was being chased.
mm.
No one don't even know about that. The next scene that we
Exclusive,
had,
exclusive, exclusive.
the next part we had, there was supposed to be a scene where a club scene where I had singers coming, models coming, everybody's supposed. None of them showed up. Not one. I had people from the audience coming in and just saying, "Hey," and I had different size outfits just lined up. I looked at a dude, sized him up, said, "Hey, this look like it fits you. Come over here." I put a CSI outfit on him, put him in there, had him film. Never been in a movie a day in his life. Grab him right out the audience. Sir, I'll be in a movie. Here you go. Let's go. Every time the security didn't show up. One of the other guys didn't show up. The other folk. Matter of fact, for the house party, no one showed up for the house party. I had to grab my son and say, "You get in there." And then I gave him one of my jackets that barely fit. "You get up in there and film the movie." Every time we went to film, no one showed up that was supposed to show up, or people was always missing, and people were calling, "Oh man, can you make it for 3 hours later?" I'm like, "No, I had to call the police so we can shut down stuff to film," and the folk wasn't showing up. I got CSI tape out, I got caution tape written around, I got people standing out there with weapons doing things, and I don't have the folk there to film. So you know what? Hey, let's make this part. I just kept it moving. I said, I don't care what happened, I'm gonna get this made. And then at the end of finally getting the full film done,
Mm.
I went to edit, do the whole thing. I wrote all the music for it, wrote over 62 songs for the production. I wrote music for each person. I wanted everyone to have their own theme music. I wrote music for them all. I edited all. And after I did all of that, I deleted the whole movie by accident. There's a button you're supposed to not press that I pressed.
I would say so.
And I deleted the whole movie by accident because it told me, "Oh, if you want to do this, move it over here." I hit it and it deleted the whole movie. I almost lost it. That was my first time I almost gave up on the whole thing. I said, "That's it." Over 2,000 clips, all that editing. I said, "I can't do this no more." Everyone was laughing at me already. People was cracking jokes on me. People said, "This dude really think you're gonna make a movie." Folk wasn't showing up. Friends that I thought was friends that was gonna do things didn't do it, didn't follow through. And it was very expensive. I spent so much of my own money. It is insane what I spent making a movie. It's very expensive. People like, "Why would you spend all that? You're not guaranteed to get it back." I said, "Because it's a passion I got and I gotta get it out." I
Mhm.
said, "I'm gonna do it because nobody else gonna do it for me. If it is to be, it's up to me. I'm gonna do it because I know nobody else believe in this." I said, "So I'm gonna get it done to show that it can be done. That's why I gotta do this." I finished that whole entire thing, no matter what, stayed up sometimes 2, 3 days in a row. I would have on the same outfit. My son would see me, I'm sitting at the kitchen table working on something. He'd go to sleep, wake up, come back. I'm still at the same table at 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning, never stopped. My wife would come out and say, "Honey, at least eat some food, do something."
Mhm.
I ended up finding a loop of the movie that I had saved on an SSD card, put it back on too, so I could start doing some more editing. I just, whatever I need to get this movie done.
Mhm.
Got the movie done. I got a film critic, rented out a theater, packed out the theater, and I stood. There was no room for me to sit. Me and my wife stood in the back. One gentleman said, "Sir, would you like to sit down?" Man, I almost had tears in my eyes. I said, "Sir, this is a dream of mine. It ain't no way I could sit down. I got a room full of people sitting and watching a movie that I made. I'm not sitting down at all." People told me I couldn't even get this done. I was standing here proudly,
Mhm.
and I watched everyone watch this movie and lean forward, lean back, jump when they were supposed to at the end, standing ovation. The film critic praised the movie, said, "This is one of the best movies I've seen." She said, and she's known as a very harsh woman.
Mhm.
She said, "Y'all have no idea. This movie this dude put together is phenomenal." And at that moment, I said, "Okay, I might have some," because I was so nervous because you don't know if people are going to like what you do or not. You know if people are going to get it. I was so nervous. And when I seen everyone stand up, clap, coming up, shaking hands, I said, "We got something."
Yeah.
And now to fast forward,
Mhm.
after all of these things happen, now we're in magazines. I end up sending one of those magazines back, like I told you. I'm on a cover of a magazine where they told me, that teacher that told me I wouldn't make it past the age out of my teens, I'd be dead in jail. I sent it back to that place to let them know I made it. Let the other kids know you can make it. If it is to be, is up to you to do that. It ain't the environment, it ain't the community. Don't make excuses. You can go out and make it happen. So that's what had just a determination. And from doing that, it opened up doors where I'm able to now I have celebrities saying, "Hey, can you film my movie? Oh, can you do it?" Now we film Death of Ego for that same young man from the he filmed my movie. He said you're one of the best directors I've been around. Now, ooh, another movie. We have Escape Paradise coming up. We have Letter of the Law about to get filmed, and it's just snowballing. We have Isaac Hill coming out, so it's just not stopping because I keep writing and I keep writing, and this is going to be an avenue where people get to be inside of movies based on their talent, based on their work ethic, and they get to come in, act, and get to be something.
Mm.
That's the goal, man.
You know, normally I actually have to moderate the conversation my guests are having with themselves. I've asked one question. He hit question number two, question number three, four, five, six, and seven. I got three questions left. I'm gonna see if I just let you freestyle. If you're gonna hit them other three real quick. But nah. I gotta act. I have to be an active participant in this conversation at some
Please
point.
do. I'm sorry. Please do, sir. Sometimes I get to preaching, man. Please
No,
do.
no, no. You know what? You literally, the conversation was logically laid out. It's as if you were in my fucking head, which means to me that I'm a damn good storyteller. Oh, I I am vicariously an award-winning filmmaking, storytelling son of a gun. He just followed my entire script right out of my head. It's right here. I'm gonna, and you know what? I'm just to be just for shits and giggles,
Mhm.
y'all. Those are my questions.
I love it.
I have asked one question. One, one. I damn, I'm good. I just we have a connection here, this storyteller and I. And obviously, you grinded it out. Is it grounded out? Grinded out. I don't care. I'm
Grand.
62. I can
Yes.
say what I want to say.
Yes.
Yeah. Uh, he grinded it out. Everybody, y'all from Chicago, South Central, y'all understand what I'm talking about. We're talking about going from the streets to the suites, literally, not just mentally. We're talking about why are my notifications on? That's what we should be talking about. Because I'm gonna send it to you for post so we can get the audio out. Anyway, well, Eddie, but probably does. You probably know all the nuts and bolts of everything that has to do with filmmaking, sound, audio, building the trailers, gaffing. If the tape has got a wrinkle in it, shouldn't be there.
Mhm.
I'm gonna recap just because I have to do something. I feel as if I have a responsibility, a journalistic responsibility to recap this conversation. I mean, the early life and adversity with teachers and naysayers saying, no, you're not going to make it. A lot of magnificent creatives have this as part of their story. What you're doing is so wild, so out the box of the people who surround you on a day-to-day basis. They can't see it for themselves and therefore cannot see it for you either. But you cannot let them hold you back. That was lesson number one. All right. Intestinal fortitude. When your collaborators back out and you have these conversations and you're like, okay, we're feeling good. You've got the energy, and people just say, once again, that's life trying that BS. You figure out a way to come out triumphant. In the military, we call it overcome and adapt,
Mhm.
move the mission forward, right? Momentum is going. Then the screenplay contest. Integrity. We talk about journalistic integrity, telling real stories, factual stories, without the clickbait. Of course, we got to make it interesting, and it's okay to be fluffy from time
Mhm.
to time. The man could have won with just one click of his computer, not 40 or 50, like you people out there buying 100,000 followers and fake likes and comments and stuff to try to defeat the algorithm. You know what I mean? He could have won one click, did not, and then educated the producer of the event on here's where the loophole is at. Boom. And the man respected him enough that he held that in his mind. He's like, I'm gonna figure out a way to help this young dynamo because he's truthful. That means the stories are going to be truthful. The way it's laid out will be truthful and authentic. The details that you look, I ain't gonna break it down. Like I'm not. My name is not Siskel or Ebert, and I'm not a Miniger or a CSI profiler. I'm just saying, man to man, what this brother just laid out, and I'm just recapping that. It encompasses everything that we used to be taught by prior generations before we came into this era of babies raising babies. And I'm not going to preach, you know what I mean? But, the shortcuts, no shortcuts. 10,000 hours to become an elite, whatever. Spend those hours. Learn what you need to learn. Stop with the shortcuts. AI and GPT, they're all great tools and resources. But if you don't know how to write, if you don't know what standard punctuation is, if you don't know what first person, second person, neutral tone, what a style guide is on how to write, as he didn't know how to put this film together correctly in the Hollywood format, then nobody's going to respect you. And I will look at it and say, oh, that's a long dash. That's GPT. It uses the long dash to replace the periods and semicolons and commas. Educate yourself on all the nuts and bolts of what you're doing. Tell the story. Just in life. I'm not going to preach. You know what I mean? Integrity, man. He started a production company mostly because somebody said you can't. He wrote the book and he wasn't satisfied. He tested it out on moms. Mom's like, I want to see the movie. The publisher, Penguin Press, they are notoriously ticky tack when it comes to submissions. Mm-hmm. If you have 4 words in a row that may have appeared together in another publication, guess what? You will not get published. They will call it plagiarism.
Yes.
4 words in a row. People say, oh, nothing under the sun is new. That's true. But when you're writing, you better make sure you cannot 4 words in a row that appear somewhere else in the exact same order. You're going to get nailed for plagiarism and you'll lose your deal. Mm-hmm. They double checked. They went through his work with a fine tooth comb. So integrity at the screenplay, integrity in the writing. He put in the work. I stole this from Steve Harvey. This is my integrity kicking in. He put his work clothes on, them suits, put his work clothes on his dreams, went to the job site and built the freaking house by hand. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mortar. We're not going to go that far. Anyway, to become an award-winning author, and you won how many film festivals you gained recognition on? Like 20, 30?
we up to the fourth one. I forgot about one. We going this Saturday for another one out in Tampa that we just won as well. So we was winning awards at things that I forgot that we submitted to earlier in the year that now is coming to fruition. So it's man, it's the blessings just toppling over. Oh, one thing this one thing, and then of course I'll let you continue on.
He gonna let me participate again?
Yes, I'll let you continue on, man, because I know I had it going for a while. I said, no, I want my man to do his thing.
I love it.
So the gentleman, Mr. Shram, that's the one who's over the whole contest that he did. I reached out to him. He'll be in my movie Isaac Hill that's coming out.
Oh,
talk about full circle.
Poetic justice. Poetic justice.
Yep.
One of the things that you mentioned is that most of the outlay was out of your pocket. Mm-hmm. Mrs. Cuts, I know
Yes.
Ooh,
Two
but
salutes. Another salute.
and brother, because I know
Yes.
what she did say wasn't half of what she wanted to say.
Yep.
The attitude you may have gotten wasn't a tenth of the attitude she may have wanted to give you. But standing strong, family unit, my guy is leading, he believes in this, and we're not having missed meal cramps. So he's taking
Yep.
care of business. I'm going to
Yep.
stand with him.
Yep.
Even though I got to answer these questions, oh, your husband, loco, what's happening? You know what I mean? We were supposed to go on a cruise, but we can't go on a cruise because he's filming. He messing with your social life. You know them shit starters. Excuse my
Yep.
language.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
And that's family and friends. And I
Yep.
got, I got the word. Y'all know the word. Y'all know the
Mm-hmm.
word. ABCDE. No. Okay. Anyway, uh, so all of this, we talk about funding in the film business, and in as and I believe that what we're getting ready to touch on right now handles all the creators, label owners, whether you
Mm-hmm.
want to be a magazine publisher, you want to be a freaking candle maker. Funding through in unconventional networking. You told a great story about securing film support from a chance conversation at the airport, where you learned in that few hours to become a screenwriter, and you have these unexpected moments where the guy says, I'm going to teach you how to be a director.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to give you this opportunity. So you're funding. People think I'm talking about money right now.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about social capital, soft skills. Hi, how are you? My name is,
Yep.
pleased to meet you. Standing on business, having the conversation, understanding I got 2 ears, one mouth. Let me shut the hell up and learn what the experts have to teach. I don't know everything.
Yep.
Unconventional networking, funding through unconventional networking. Say hi, get your ass off social media, go shake hands, kiss babies. Let's go back to the in store appearances. You feel me? Say hi.
Mm-hmm.
That's where the capital came from. You saw people held him in reserve, held things in reserve for months, and then made the calls. Hey, I've got this opportunity. I can help you through this channel.
Mm-hmm.
It's a different kind of funding, experience funding. In
Mm-hmm.
that business, it's invaluable. Would you
Yep.
say?
Yep. 100%.
It's more than a fine troy ounce of gold.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Challenges behind the scenes, he's explained. Actors not showing up. But on conversely, all right, for every action, there's an opposite and equal reaction, right? Yin, yang, dark,
Mm-hmm.
light. How you just walk in, talk up like, catch me if you can, right? He just went in there and talked himself up on an airplane. He done talked himself up on three mansions. He talked himself up on a business.
Yep.
Catch me if you can. Y'all remember the movie?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Uh, 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 like
Leonardo DiCaprio. Mm-hmm.
Leonardo DiCaprio,
Mm-hmm.
but Lupin,
Oh, yes.
Lupin, the
Yes,
brother
Lupin.
from England,
Yep.
Lupin, make magic out of nothing. So every time you get a blessing, and I was reminded this, I had dreams of my own. Every time I bless you, God said, somebody has to suffer.
Hmm.
He got an airplane. There's some folks ain't gonna show up at the bar scene. He got three mansions. Some folks not coming to the club scene. They not coming on set. He got a business, security, people who come to secure your equipment and your site not showing up. You got to grab people out of the audience. So we've had the good with the bad. Now here's the bad. And then audience member says, yeah, I'll be in the movie. Suit me up. He got a whole wardrobe of suits he's given away. He got the chance to utilize this wardrobe for his film. As an old person, I'm just saying that just because life throws crap at you doesn't mean you can't wipe it off and keep pushing and move forward. You know, you've got these little complaints. When would you go get on Spirit? I'm not trying to downplay you. I'm just saying, I'm a I'm a I'm from the broke five broke fraternity, right? I'm gonna get on the Southwest airplane or the Greyhound and go sit in the terminal, with my last little battery charge and a few dollars, eat out the vending machine and wait. Who does that? Rick Cuts. You know, moral themes and audience impact inside of the films. He already talked about Strat.A.Gem, which is the basis for the next ooh-wee. You don't know who's on the side of the right or the side of, but you have to move and act regardless of how things may eventually turn out. Make a decision, get off your behind, go get it.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
don't, I'm a fan of DEI in the corporate workspace because damn it, I had $78,000 of student loans. I needed a gig. I'm qualified. Thank God I'm a disabled vet, right? So they got slots that are for disabled vets. DEI my black behind up in there. Don't care. But this brother has earned it. And if you are worried about a handout, if you go get it for yourself, nobody has to hand you anything. If you learn the nuts and bolts, this brother can lay the gaffy tape. He can put the trellises up. I know he can run sound. He knows how to properly re-roll wire to put it back in storage so he can use it again. You know what I mean? Know your business. Stay the course. And when you've made it and people are continuing to try to tear you down and the imposter syndrome begins to attack you and you say, do I really deserve to be here? You do the mental exercise, get in front of that mental mirror, strip down mentally butt naked, and each achievement, start putting on a piece of clothes. Here's a sock, here's a sock, here's your drawers, here's a t-shirt. Well, whoop till you get to your crown. Award-winning filmmaker, major film coming to theaters near you next year. All on a whim and a prayer that turned into a man, an adult, a human being who believed that I can, despite you saying I can't. Put work clothes, Steve, thank you again. Put work clothes on the dreams, went to the work site, built the house. Right here, we talked to him on the Hype Magazine live sessions. Rick Cuts. He had Strat.A.Gem for that ass. Well, okay. All right. He let me participate. I feel good. No, I don't want to act in one of your movies. Yeah, I could do it.
You know, I'm thinking about it.
Well, I could be the headless voice or something.
Hey, I got a spot for you.
I bet you do. I bet you do. You made some spots on the fly from other people. And I would not doubt you if you told me that the ocean was orange. Even if I know in my mind it's
You look.
only in Australia on the
Right, right,
reef.
right.
I'm just gonna say the ocean orange. We just gonna go
Right.
because I cannot see, you know, turning my back on your wisdom, your experience, and your awareness. I have to thank you as man to man. Y'all think this is a kid. He's not a kid. I'm not going to tell you, it's not my business to tell you how old he is. What I can tell you is this young man has not cracked no worry lines. And I know you got makeup artists and all that stuff, but I believe we are natural lighting in the room.
Mhm.
He done took 25 hours to tie that magnificent knot on that tie. His face doesn't have worry lines. He's bald. You can see wrinkles. I got wrinkles. I got hair. He ain't got, but the life hasn't beat him down. I hold him as a lighthouse on the side of the ocean at the reef, helping ships navigate the dark waters and not destroy themselves. He's an example. Study. I've studied Thoreau. I, of course, have studied Maya Angelou, who was like the most beautiful prose writer ever. James
Mhm.
Baldwin, you know,
Mhm.
Nikki Giovanni. I'm a writer. I'm a journalist. I tell stories. I help people tell their stories. I moderate. I didn't moderate none today.
Oh,
I
oh, oh, yeah, you did. Yeah, you
I,
did.
I was a happy fly on the wall listening to this fantabulous, yes, fantabulous story because it's real. Anyway, I talk too much. I talk too much. I'm 12 minutes into my little diatribe and I need to know, is there anything that you wanted to cover that I may have neglected?
No, the only thing I'll say, I got to, my wife, number one, man, that one was phenomenal. Her being the support, system that I have through her, because everybody else can say they don't believe in me, but my wife will be like, honey, I believe it. It's gonna happen. And that did it for me. Just her saying, honey, you can do it because I guess some of the funny sides is because my whole house, it looked like a prop shop. I mean, I had, of course, because there's dead bodies. So I got dead bodies in the house. I got, bombs, fake dope, all type of stuff in the house. So one of the moments that happened where we had an argument. And the argument that we had was because I bought her a new, so I got a new stove because someone else, so I bought a new stove. So all of a sudden, the guy come in to put the stove in. I'm looking at him on the camera because I went at the house. I knew my wife was here. I just wanted to check in. So I look in. The guy literally ran in. He was gone within 3 minutes.
Mm.
Man, he just dropped it and just ran. I'm like, man, why did you leave like that? Man, I come home. We got the dope on the table, his guns sitting out with silencers. So I'm like, oh Lord. So now I'm like, honey, did you leave the dope out on the table? You can't just leave the dope on the table with the guns. And
Oh.
I'm thinking about the conversation. I'm going, if somebody heard this, they'd be like, this dude just talking about guns and dope on the table. It's all props, of course. So I
Mm-hmm.
got to call the police to let them know, hey, if y'all happen to get a call, because my name's on the list, they know I'm a director, know what I got. I say, this is what it is. And they laugh and they be like, all right, man, we got you. But the dude ran out because he got scared looking at what I had on the table. He
Mm.
thinking I just walked into a trap house or something, and he ran out. Then one of my neighbors, I had to transport the dead body to the site. So I'm sliding the body in the back of the car, and this is true. My man walked by me walking his dog, and he looked at me. I got half the body in the car, and he looks at me. He go, for the movie, and I'm like, yeah, for the movie. Then he stops and turns back around. He go, where your wife at? I'm like, you know what? My man, my man see me putting a dead body in. So I have to tell him about the movie now that's not supposed to be told by anybody. So now I brab him. So I put his house in the movie. So
Mhm.
he's got a little spot in the movie just so I keep him quiet.
Yeah,
So
this is the reward for this NDA that you go
right, right,
sign. Right,
right.
right,
So
right.
I'm like, Lord, but that's the stuff. But no, man, it's just a blessing, man. My wife was probably just her being supportive and saying, "Honey, it's gonna work," because there was so many days of doubt where I just didn't know, man. But I couldn't stop just because I knew I didn't want my kids, no one to look and be like, "Well, he gave up." I couldn't stop because if I quit, then I can never tell anybody else that they can't quit.
That's
And
right.
if I quit, and if I didn't do it, that next young man that's coming up, how can I encourage them and show them that it can be done? So
That's
I figure, hey, Instead of waiting for somebody else to do it, I'm gonna do it.
Mm. Everything happens in steps, stages, and degrees.
Hmm.
That's equivalent to the three phases of life: the thinker, the knower, and the doer.
Hmm.
I'm not gonna get too deep, but y'all can track that.
Hmm.
Um, I'm in love with the idea of young people learning about you and what you've done and how you made it happen, despite and in spite of the lack of cooperation from the universe at all.
Yep.
And, you know, you walk through the desert, there's an oasis from time to time, but you
Yep.
still got to cross the burning sands. Your shoes gonna wear out, the leather gonna dry out, your feet are gonna blister, but you got to get the shade. How do you get the shade? You got to complete the process, right? Shining example right here.
Yep.
Writer, director, filmmaker, producer, an actor, literally actor. Well, I can't tell you right now because uh, you know, got to keep it confidential and ain't got nobody. Fake it till you make it. He pulled three-card Monty in a conversation and got planes, mansions. Nobody found the P until it hit the theater.
Yeah.
Mrs. Cuts,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Family, mom, thank you for inspiring this young dynamo so we could hold him up. I mean, you know, it's not about a competitive thing. It's about realizing I need my children, my grandsons, to see you as they're thinking about career trajectory. What else can I do?
Mhm.
Can I be the thought leader in this industry? Can I be the ChatGPT prompt engineer of all prompt engineers?
Mhm.
Can I understand? Understand. I appreciate your patience with my shenanigans, man. Thank you
No, you good.
very much. So, Strat.A.Gem is the book. If you haven't seen the film, I would suggest grabbing the book if you're interested in wondering how this young brother's mind works and who in the heck do you have to be inside of yourself to come up with this kind of cleverness and confusion. We're talking about inner turmoil. Am I doing the right thing? Is
Mhm.
my girlfriend doing the right thing? Is my boyfriend doing the right thing? Do I stand for this? Do I click the button and get the vote? Am I a good guy? Am I a bad guy? Internal struggles. The Hype Magazine live session. Mr. Rick Cuts. Strat.A.Gem is the film and the book. Go get that. Till next time. We're out.